Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Will and John. Glad y'all had me over here today. Thank you for everyone present, and thank you for everyone who's attending online. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. A lot of you may or may not know all the resources of the Career Center, and I'm going to try to touch on those a little bit later. But this morning, I just want to pose a couple of questions, and you can respond in the chat or just by a show of hands. How many have ever used the Indeed job platform to post jobs? Okay. All right. Now, what about, have you used LinkedIn? Anybody use LinkedIn to post a job? All right. Now, what about ZipRecruiter? Anybody do ZipRecruiter? Okay. Now, what about the AlabamaWorks jobs database? Does anybody use that? Okay. We've got folks in here that use that. Well, if you're not taking advantage of this platform, you're missing out on a lot. I'm going to demonstrate how to actually go in and place a job in the database this morning. And there's some new features in the system that I want to point out as we're going through this as well. So the AlabamaWorks jobs platform, I'm going to go ahead and log out. If you hit the home key, that will actually log you out. So don't think that's going to take you home. I'm going to go here, and when you get to the alabamaworks.alabama.gov website, then you will simply sign in with your username and password. If you do not have a username and password, you can create one yourself. However, before you do that, call me up and let me find out if you've got an account in there already, because if you already have an account, that can lead to a little bit of confusion when you get so many contacts in there and you don't know which account to post the job in. So just contact me and I'll hook you up with that. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And you can visit as a visitor as well. You want a username and password. You don't have to do the reCAPTCHA. A lot of times they'll put the pictures up there and everything, so just match those up. Now the first thing you're going to see here is the dashboard. This is your space where, just like any other dashboard, you got a wealth of knowledge right here. We'll just kind of go through the little widgets there. You can minimize, you can maximize those widgets, you can drag them around. If you accidentally close one and you didn't mean to, you can click the configure dashboard widgets, and then you can reset them and just join them ever how you want to there. Now, one of the things that you see is the calendar. You see here we have 10 events. Now, when a job seeker logs in, they will be able to see this because they get a similar dashboard, okay? So we're just going to see, hey, what's going on? What's these events about? So we're looking here. We're going to look at the Gadsden affiliate Career Center. And look at here, we can see right here in the month of November, we got surge staffing coming in on Thursdays. We have AlaTrade coming in and Elwood staffing. These are job fairs and things. And we can go back and see like what happened last month. You know, I actually had a workshop on navigating the AlabamaWorks platform. So the job seeker has a little information here he or she can get to find out what's going on around the community. So the next thing I want to point out is I'm going to go ahead and assist an employer. Now your little flyout menu here on the left, that little menu, it's a little flyout menu. You'll have different, this menu kind of changes with depending on what you're on. You probably know that already. But I'm going to manage an employer, and you will just manage what you will see actually on your jobs, on your page. Let me go back to the dashboard. And that is, you will see something on the dashboard in here that says recruitment services. Now, it doesn't show up on my dashboard because I'm not an employer. I'm logged in as a staff member. So, and when the job seeker signs in, they'll see what there's allowed for them to see. So you're going to be in here, and then you'll see something around in here. It says recruitment plan, and then under that you'll see something about jobs. You will simply click that hyperlink and go to your jobs. So And because I don't have that here, I'm just going to go ahead and navigate to my employer. And I'm going to assist an employer. And this morning I talked to Dr. Stacy. He's a local dentist here. And he's wanting to put in a job order for a hygienist. So I talked to him of what they wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and assist him. Now you can do this. I can do this. As far as creating a job order is what I'm talking about. Now you can see right here, you have employer profiles, human resources plan, staff profiles. Let's kind of go through this. Now you won't have the staff profiles because that's only for me. You'll have the 2 columns. So now we'll just go to the corporate profile. I'm gonna just kind of go through this with you to see some of the profile elements in here. He tells you he's registered at Gadsden, his name, got a username, got a password. He's registered in there by his FEIN. He's got his primary location and the mailing address. So that's already been standardized. So if it hadn't, you would just click that and it would standardize it. If it's the same. Okay. This is job title. He's a dentist. He's got his email address. Now here, please select the method on which you wish to receive your notifications. Now, typically this defaults under internal message. Now, the problem with that is if you're not logged in, you won't know that you have a message. So if you select internal message with email notification, then you will get an email saying, hey, you got activity in your account, go log in, check out what's going on. If you have a company website, you list that there. And please notice you do have to enter the http://www. in front of the website. It won't accept it unless you do that. Now, under the job application websites, if you use something like Snag a Job or some of these other job boards, for whatever reason, AlabamaWorks won't recognize that web address. Now, I can put like www. Indeed, the Indeed website, but if I actually try to link it to the specific job, it's not going to. It's not going to recognize it, but I can put the Indeed. You'll have an industry code for your occupation, whatever you do. Everybody has that. You can tell the size of your employees. If you're a private sector or government sector, and let's just go through these. You got 1 to 4, 5 to 9. Show Me Heroes. This has to do with the veterans, the Vets Medallion Award, and I'll talk on that here in a little bit. If you have a profile, you can enter that there. We don't have one for this dentist. He's got a little employer summary page, and this is a brand new feature right here in the AlabamaWorks system. It's called Special Characteristics. I don't know if you got a notification on it or not, but now employers can identify on if they're union, non-union, ex-offender friendly, minority owner, veteran owner. Now, if your company hires ex-offender, if they're ex-offender friendly, you can identify as that. And then a job seeker can also look for those companies who identify as that. There's a way they can search those out. And, if you do hire, ex-felons and things like that, there's also funds of money set aside for that. There's the federal bonding program that you can have access to where you can get that employee bonded at no cost for at least a year. So if you're interested in that, Tammy, let me know. But I encourage you to go into your profile and use these special characteristics. Well, I know this dentist is going to be a non-union, but he's not really a shop, so we're not going to identify him with any. If you have an apprenticeship, then you can put your apprenticeship number in there. Now, this dentist, he does not have any benefits. If he had benefits, you can see all the benefits that you can select from. If you've got something that's not listed in there, you can always add it. Maybe you want to put company car, something like that. So, but then that's all that goes right there. So that is, then you would just click the update or save. If you've made any errors, it will let you know at the top of the page, and then will it flag it with a red asterisk on the side over here. And because this is red and white, the little asterisk is so tiny, you have to really look out there to see it. So it can be a little difficult to see. So that's his company profile. And we can see here, we've got contacts and users. We'll go ahead to locations. And you got vertical menus and horizontal menus. He's got one location. Now, if you have multiple locations, say you're a nursing facility, nursing home or hotel, any of those types of facilities that have multiple locations, we can add a location and a contact for your company. So I encourage you to do that, because if you're putting in a job for your main location, let's say you're a staffing agency, and you put in for your staffing agency's office address, well, that's not really true, because they're going to put you to work over in Steele or over in Lincoln or somewhere else. But there's a way to manage that in there, and when we get into the job order part, I'll show you. But we got contacts and users. We can add someone who wants to be able to go into the platform to manage these jobs and look for candidates on themselves. This is available to you. So you can add your contacts. Account summary documents. Well, I won't go through all that. Let's just dive on over into job orders. Now we can see here, there is no job orders listed. Now, if he had job orders in the past, we could do the little search, the criteria. We change that to any and see any work site location. We're just going to filter that, and we can see whatever jobs was in there before. Look at there, he did have some jobs. He had a couple of dental assistants he was trying to hire over there. I want to go through this right here just a moment. Of course, this is a job order number, the title, it tells you it expired, the status. Now, when you first post the job, by default, it is on a mandatory 48-hour veteran hold. Then it goes to automatically open and available. By default, job orders stay active for 90 days. We can change that. If you fill the job, you can change it and close it, and call me, I can close the job out. It's pretty easy. So it tells you the correct date it's created. By default, they stay active for 90 days, and they closed it the next day by default because it expired. Had 64 views and no applicants. But now on this one that was posted in August, the close date of August, they have one applicant. Well, you can click on that hyperlink, and this is why it's so important to log in, because if you don't go in and check your system, you don't know if somebody from the Career Center has submitted a referral to that job. Maybe somebody come in the Career Center and say, well, I want to apply for that job, and the Career Center staff can submit a referral to you, and you will get that referral. Say, hey, call this person. So look at there. We got Alex Brock. He was referred. Now I want to tell you, he's got a quick view right here. You got your education level. He didn't list his salary or we didn't give okay, it looks like he got hired. And these match skills, general requirements, and specialized skills, I want you to take those right there with a grain of salt, because the job seeker may or may not have all their skills updated in the platform, okay? So just know that. So, that's the good thing about picking up the phone, calling somebody if you get through to them. But that's the way you do that. And so, those job orders are fine, but he's wanting to hire a hygienist today. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click new job. Does anybody have any questions so far? If anybody has any questions, yes.
For the job seeker, is there a way to filter out virtual jobs, from home?
We do have a work from home status in there, and matter of fact, we'll see that. We're fixing to go through that right now. So we'll add a new job order, and likewise, whatever we can put on our side, the job seeker can see. They can filter that as well. Now, course, H-2B2 jobs, that's jobs requiring visas and things. We can put those in there. We have these 3 options that gives us, and for just time purposes, I'm going to do the manual basic entry with minimum data entry. Now, what we're going to do after we complete this is we're going to go back and review it because it's going to put some default settings in there you may or may not want. Okay, so this job title, he's looking for a, let me see. Let me see here. Try to get this. Hygienist. Okay. I'm just going to get that. I'm just going to put in hygienist right there. Now, you see that down arrow? When I put that in there, if you let that, let me go back. If you type it in and don't let it drop down to this drop down menu, then you will have to go back and add the next section, which is the job occupation. If you allow it to drop down and you can select from this, then this will automatically change the job occupation to, right now it's none selected. So we want to click on that and find the skill, the actual occupation, because what that occupation is going to do is going to associate certain skills with this occupation. So it's going to be a dental hygienist. That's the occupation we want. You don't have to worry about the job agency ID. I don't really understand what that is. So if you don't know what it is, then it doesn't apply. So we're going to click next. And it says there you have 30 days from the time you start a job order to the time you finish. So right here you go. Job order title, hygienist, occupation, hygienist, dental hygienist. Work from home. No, this is not going to be a work from home occupation. All righty, so this is the default location. Now, if he had multiple locations, you would select it from the location. He doesn't. Job description, they just told me a little snippet about what they wanted to use. Now, I want you to take advantage of this, though, because this won't let me select. Well, that's kind of crazy. Well, this is what I was going to copy and paste over into the job description, but since it doesn't have that, won't allow me to do that for some reason. If you don't have sample text or something put in there, you can click this button, insert sample text. And this is going to pull something based on, well, why is it not working? This is going to put in an actual description based on that occupation. Here we go. It's just a little sluggish. So we have a summary description and a detailed description. I'm going to go back and change this to put what they wanted to in there when I get back where my computer will copy over. But in this area, you have a WYSIWYG editor. You can bold, italicize, color. You can do whatever you wanted to do there and make it stand out. But the main thing I want you to note is that you can put as much information in here as you wanted to. So, if they can apply in person, tell the hours that they can apply in person. You can be descriptive in that. There's also another place a little further down, and I'll talk about that. The compensation and hours. Now, here is labor market information contained right inside AlabamaWorks platform. As you can see right here, the lowest advertised wage for this is $11.07, and the highly advertised is $27.18. Now, they did not tell me a wage that they were going to start. You have a minimum starting salary and a maximum starting salary, but that labor market information right there is going to give you a good guide. Now, if it's by the year, you'll want to go ahead and drop that down and change that to year because it automatically defaults to hour. And when you add the numbers in there, we'll go do another one real quick and I'll show you. But you can say that it depends on the experience. If they get supplemental compensation are not, if the hours are specified, you could put specific, and I'll have that. So this is going to be 32 hours a week. Shift is going to be day shift. You got all these different, you can say, if it's something different, you can say, see job description. So you can spell it out in there. All right, you can display the salary on the job order or not. Now, right now, we don't have a wage in there, so we're not going to display it right now, but when I get that information, because posted job orders that include a salary have a higher visibility in the system and attract 43% more applicants. And if I need to, answer any questions along the way, y'all feel free to stop me. But the next thing down is the job application methods accepted. By default, your AlabamaWorks online resume is going to be selected there. If you don't want that, if you want them to apply by email a resume, or a call for appointment, you can say, because we got the email already listed in there, and the address, it's all in there, the employer profile. So you can say, call for interview, or whatever, put the number, or you can put, or email resume. You can be as descriptive, and here again, I would put the actual email address and the number and everything in there again, just because I don't want the job seeker to overlook it. And so I want them to know how to apply. If you have a minimum age, oh, by the way, these skills right here, these are pulled from that job occupation code. So there's going to be in there, if you want more skills for this person to have than what's in here, you can just go through these skills, and say, right now it's work with person with mental disabilities or illnesses. Well, I don't know if they actually do that in the dental office, but that's the skill that it identified as a dental hygienist. Because, there may be some anxiety people face and things like that going in there. You might need to know how to address that. If you have a minimum age, put that there. If there is a region, if you have a minimum age, then you've got these reasons why you have to have that. You do have to select here anything that's got the little red star there. You do have to select. So this person right here is going to have. I think they gave me I'm going to have to put a dental hygienist certification in there. So right there, I will do that right here. Put that certification in there, which I got to go back and see what it is. But the number of months of experience is required. Now, if you don't want them to have any experience, they don't need to have any experience, you got to put a 0. So you got to put something in there. So we'll put no right there for now. And then is the job available by public transportation? If it is, select yes. Do they need to have a driver's license? Most times they'll need to have one for their background check. If you run a background check, so you could put a private class. And then you probably won't have too much of this, but if it's on-the-job training, we have a way of denoting that. Excuse me. And so that's pretty much it. Now, if you've got more than one job, you can put feature that job. And like I say, by default, all job orders listed in the system is on a 48-hour mandatory hold. And then you just go down here and simply create the job. Now, because I don't have all the details in the job, then what we're going to do is go back and edit it. And when I get back to the office, I'll put the certificates and things like that in there. So does anybody have any questions about that? All right. So what I'll probably do now is just kind of fly through some of the services that we have at the Career Center. So we already talked about this as AlabamaWorks.alabama.gov. And by the way, in your packets, you'll have a lot of information that what you'll be seeing here. Let me see. I guess I can start this. Let me see slideshow from beginning. Let me scroll this way. Okay. Okay, so like I say, if you don't know whether or not you have an account, just give me a call. We'll figure it out. We'll determine that. Pre-screening and for employment. Now this comes in to play, particularly whenever we use on-the-job training program. Now, little did we know that Miss Alexia her employer could have earned a pretty penny back to his bottom line had he went through the on-the-job training program and then hired her. She's only been there 4 months. You can get back, an employer can get back 50 to 75% of that new hire's wages by entering this program. There's a brochure in your booklet there, and it has to be between 4 weeks and I think 26 weeks to do the training program. You don't change anything about what you're already doing in your training. All you do, you've got to be E9 verified, and then she'll get a copy of your MOU, and then you can start receiving. All you do is keep up with the time of that employee, their time card, and sign. All you got to do is sign the places that she tells you about 3 places to sign, and then you get reimbursed for that. So if you're thinking about doing any hiring, please do that. If you're thinking about even further developing a training program into maybe an apprenticeship program, there's funding available for that too. Okay. So, but we don't typically, screen people, but in particular job situations we do. Recruitment and job fairs, we do have 2 annual job fairs that we work with the chamber with and Councilman Worthy each year, usually in the spring and fall, like March and August, somewhere along in there. We also have, you saw the job fairs that I showed you on the dashboard. You can go in there, the job seeker can come in to the Career Center, and you can, if you like, you can come up there. We'll reserve you a room. You can have a little hiring event up there. We'll advertise it out on Facebook, on our bulletin board, on all the medias we have. Other people share our Facebook pages and things like that. So it's a good way to get, a little recruitment event going. And all this stuff is free for you guys. The labor market information you saw inside the AlabamaWorks platform when we entered that job order, what the minimum starting wage is and the highly skilled wages. So all that labor market information is in there for you to utilize. And it's good to see that the wages are going up, so I'm glad to see that. Incumbent worker training, we have different types of trainings. If you've been, lost, if your job skills are gone or something. We work with the college as well as doing skills training and that sort of thing to get up to snuff. Also, we work with the youth through the colleges and high schools. The WIOA training program, the WIOA, the ACT, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, actually will pay for funding for job seekers to go back into the education to learn better job skills. So you can pass that information along to your new job seekers. Veterans priority on that too. So, I always like to promote my veterans, and if I have a veteran I feel might be a good fit for his job, I definitely recommend them. But the work opportunity tax credit, I just want to, that's in your folder there, but there's a new one that just got put out in September of this year, and that's that Q1 inside your folder there. It's another one, but this tax credit is going to expire December 31st, 2025, but this can be claimed by an employer that hires and or incurs wages to certain individuals. The certain individuals' classifications are on the next page. Of course, there's a little bit more stipulation down there. You got to be in their first year of employment, certified as being a member of a targeted group, which we'll look at now, and perform at least 400 hours of service. Targeted groups are qualified IV-A recipient, qualified veteran, ex-felon, designated community resident, vocational rehabilitation referral, summer youth. So you can see there's different classifications that you can utilize in there. And then this tax credit, you can read on there. It's got the website as well available too, but you can see right off the bat benefits from $2,400 to $9,600. So if you want to add to your bottom line, that's a great way to do it. Then I want to mention about the Hire Vets Medallion Program. Now, how many of you know how many veterans are working in your company? How many veterans? How many? 50 or 15? 15. Okay, very good. One, okay. And what size is your company?
Right now we have about 240, 248.
Okay, well, you might be, I have to do the math, but if you have 7% of your workforce as veterans, you can qualify for the Hire Vets Medallion Program. Now, what this Hire Vets Medallion program is simply a digital medallion that you can place on all your marketing material, your websites. Says, hey, I proudly hire and retain veterans. You get nationally recognized. There's only 22 businesses in the state of Alabama last year that got recognized. And most of them were from the Huntsville area. I think we have one from Enterprise and one from Mobile, but there are a lot of federal contractors in there. But you don't have to be a federal contractor, folks. You can just have 7 or, you got 10 workers, you got one vet, that's 10% of your workforce. There is a little application fee that goes along with that, and the application is going to be ending this year on December 31st for the next year. So they'll be announcing the recipients of this year's probably soon or at the beginning of next year. But that's a nice little feather in your cap to be able to say, I proudly hire and retain veterans. And if you're veteran-owned, you can identify that as that special classification within the job within your profile there on your AlabamaWorks profile. Apprenticeship, we have apprenticeships in Alabama. I don't know of any personally. I'd like to learn of some. I'd love to see Choice do an apprenticeship program. Some of these other big players out there in manufacturing. But the Hire Vets Medallion Program, I already just touched on that. So, and that's pretty much, we've got career centers all over the place. And some, like employers that have their place of business in Albertville or somewhere else that's in another region, of course, they still work with us. I cross county lines. I'm assigned to Cherokee and Etowah County, but I can even reach across state lines if the corporate office is located outside the state of Alabama. So, love to help you get your profile set up and get you going in AlabamaWorks. You can actually, let me see if I can get out of this. Under your corporate profile, let me go back here. You can actually add, you see that little icon right there? That's a default icon. But now, in your employer profiles, at the very bottom, let me just go down to the end. Let me see. All right here it is. It's under the employer summary profile. You can upload images for the employer summary profile. That means when a job seeker looks at your job, they'll see your little company logo instead of that little generic logo that it showed on that icon. So now let me just show you one other thing. This is how it looks for job seekers. Yeah, get some tape. Alrighty, so now the job seeker can come through here and they can use all these to search. They can go through that intelligent search or advanced search to find the friendly, employer-friendly ex-felony or veteran-owned or any of that sort of stuff like that. They can search just inside or outside, but we're just going to go ahead and click search and see what it yields. So this is going to be like in East AlabamaWorks. So right here, the first one up there, MCOR, Looks like they got their little company logo there. But you can see these other ones don't. So that's the benefit. It's kind of like LinkedIn. They're wanting to get you more like that. And even now, the job seekers can put a picture in there. They can put their website in there too, so if they want to link that. I want to show you another thing about the jobs. Let me go. This is a really good recruitment tool because you can actually search for candidates within the platform. I'm gonna go back. Go back to the job order here. And resources plan. Job orders. All right, so we see this is on Veteran Hole right there. But I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you can copy it. If you've got more than one job in there, you can copy that and just change the pertinent details. But like I say, the job details, we're going back and reviewing it now. So this is going to be 90 days now. If you want it like I do some for the college, they close theirs in 2 weeks. So I'll simply go right in there and change that date. And that little blue area is where you click to edit all the information. But how many positions you're hiring for right there, when you want to close the job. If it's one and you hired somebody, you can go in and close the job there. If it's a regular job, seasonal, volunteer, you can select that. And then that working home, it's going to be over 150 days, so it's a permanent position. And if it falls in any of these categories, and now by default, I told you it entered some default settings, so he's not going to want to interview 400 applicants, so we'll change that to 40. He may only want 4 but to interview. I'm not sure, but we're going to lower that down. Then you go back, the job description. All right, if you do any, now here's where you can add your other skills. Select more skills, put in there. I'm not going to take the time to go through all that because it's kind of boring. The hiring requirements, you might want to go in there. This is, if you perform these on your new hires, you can definitely list those in there and let them know. If you do a COVID-19 test, you can put that in there, COVID-19. Type that right in there. And then you can say who does the test, if it's or if you do TB skin test. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. All right, so we got the employer who's going to do the test in there. So all that's available there for your job seeker. So when he views the job, he or she views the job, that this information will be there. I'm going to go back down. Specialized requirements, typing, stuff like that, you can put that in there. This is where you can change up your minimum education requirements and age and everything like that. And this is where we would change our information. Now the benefits offered, if you had benefits, you could select those in there. It tells all your benefits. So you just simply check those by doing that and selecting them. So enough of that. I'm gonna go back through here. Transportation requirements, salary, benefits, the job applications methods accepted. You can change, and anytime you want to change any of this, you just simply hit that blue edit over. Now the next thing I want to do is the job order upload options. Now we only upload to one job site, and that is to the National Labor Exchange. This is the nation's jobs index. People who are moving into the area can find that job. So I would encourage you, it's all done with one click. And if you copy a job order, then you know that will stay each time too. So you won't have to click it each time. Alrighty, it wants to take you to the top every time, so you got to scroll back down. If you have a set of test questions, can you, maybe you're a poultry plant, can you handle a sharp knife, whatever questions you got, you can develop your own test section here. So, and develop some questions. So that's kind of cool. Save you some time, weed out some folks there. Can you read and write? You know, whatever you want to put in there. Okay, so it's not a green job, not a federal contractor. None of this is applying. Tells you who entered the job order, everything like that. Now, it's on Veteran Hold, but we're going to go ahead here and we are going to search candidates. And that's really now so the employer can go in here and look, just search, and we can say employer keyword. And then hit the enter. And then Charlie's no records. Okay. That's really not the one I wanted to show you though. Let me skip out on that and assist a new employer really quick. Because I want to show you. Oh, look at there. There's choice. There's Miss Tina right there. Let's assist Miss Tina. Tammy, I'm sorry, Tammy. But they've got jobs in here. They do a great job of putting job orders in here. And I'll tell you another one too is Riverview. They do a great job. So you can see the number of the job title. Look at there. She's got an applicant right there on that one job. It's been viewed 48 times. She wants to find out who it is. She clicks right there. And let's just go into the job order. I don't want to click the applicants because I'll let her do that. Look at there. She's got her the image on there. It's great. I'm going to go down to the very end. Where is, okay, here it is. Candidates that match this job. So you have this one, you have this one. This one is going to search based on the criteria that you put in. So you can go in there and it's going to populate. So these people that it populates in this list, it's matching them up. So was y'all aware of that? You can do that. But like I say, on these requirements right here, they may or may not have all the requirements in there. But it gives you a little overview right here. Gary, he lives in Boaz. Looks like he's had 26 months of tractor trailer experience. You can review his resume. It's looking, he's got CDL experience, so I don't know. That might be somebody that want to reach out to. Call him, see what he's doing there. But right here, you see this filter and this match score. Let's do filter by veteran, and that's the same thing as using that. So you see the little American flag out beside that person's name? That indicates that that person is a veteran. So that's kind of cool to know that. So if you're looking to hire veterans, that's a good way to find them. Just put that little filter on there. And then once again, you got the resume. So it's kind of cool. Questions? Okay. Now everybody's an expert on putting a job order in, right? But seriously, if you don't have time, if your HR staff doesn't have time, y'all get swamped or something, just give me a call. I'll be glad to post the jobs for you. That's what I do. So if you need a space for interviewing people, come down to the Career Center. I'll show you, what we use to interview folks. Don't forget to identify your company as having any of those special characteristics. That's a new feature, but please be sure to do that. And if you want to know more about the federal bonding program, on-the-job training, some of those benefits that increase your bottom line, just hit me up or Adrian Reed, at the Career Center. But that's pretty much all I have today. I really thank the Chamber for having me, and I hope I've been a help just to kind of go through and see what it's like to get into the system and see what it's all about in there. So thanks, Will. Appreciate you guys.